Now you can hear me. I was muted and now I'm anyway. You got me in the last bite of my dinner snack. So hello. Welcome in everybody. My co-host will be here shortly. But good to see everybody. Hope everybody's had a good Tuesday. That's what it is. It was another work day, but here we are. So I'm gonna excuse me. I'm still working over that. Voice is a little bit better though. So I'm gonna welcome in the chat. And then I'll welcome in the chat. Steve will be here shortly, and then we are doing book club tonight. We're gonna work through this book. We're gonna Lord help, we're gonna finish this book eventually, sometime soon, please. So welcome in Stacy Rogers, Samantha Lowe, Ken Lack, welcome in. Nice to welcome. Thanks for joining. Howdy. Nicole, Happy's Haunt. You're at Disney World. Go do Disney World things. But hey, hope you had a safe trip. Hope you have fun. Dear Debbie Burnfield, welcome in. JNS Disney, welcome. Good to see you, Jan. Robert Dixon, hello. Hello. Mar in Memphis. Hey, Mar. Um, Mar and Jan's pictures are in my little thing. It looks similar, and anyway. Debbie Thunert, welcome in. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Sparkly Pink Diamonds. Hello, Angie. Good evening. Let's scroll on down here. Jason Thibodeau, welcome in. Good evening. KK, hello. Zanlax, welcome. Christine Hickman, hello, hello. Hope everybody's doing well. Jeep and Joy, hello, neighbor. It, it's been a bit chilly yesterday and today, neighbor. Yep. Uh, Chris S, welcome in. Good to see you. Bill Steffen, hello, hello. Mother Coconuts, good evening. Good to see everybody, and I think I'm caught up. Welcome in, everybody. Um, we didn't get to do any Lego last night. We ended up just chatting all night last night, and I enjoyed it. So, um, if we get done with the book tonight, there may be some Lego after book club. Um, I would like to work on the villain set a little bit more. Um, there was also a couple other Lego sets released and announced today that I can't wait to show once Mister of the World joins. Um, so we'll look into that, and yeah, I think that's the plan for this evening. Um, I made for my lunch today. I made the other night actually. Uh, Sunday. Sunday, made another one of my my healthy lasagna things that I made last time and told y'all about and showed pictures of. Made another one last night. Turned out amazing. I used a different no sugar added spaghetti sauce. I think it was Bertello's. It's the company that makes all the spaghetti noodles. Bertello's. I don't know. But it was really good, really good, and yeah. So that was my dinner today. Um, and I might have eaten too much of it. I wasn't feeling good after I ate it because I ate too much. Nathan, welcome in. Good to see you. So yeah. Um, but very good. So that was lunch today, and then yeah, work, and then catching up with fam, and went and picked up them supper, and yeah. So howdy. Um, yes, Nathan, he's coming. Calm down. We covered that. So yeah, he's on his way. Um, so that's my day in a nutshell. Um, yeah. Movie Mania Nick, welcome in, Nick. Good to see you. Um, so um, there was a couple of trailers I saw drop today for movies. I didn't get a chance to watch any of them yet, but I saw a couple drop, and we can talk about that a little bit too. And oh, I don't have the helmet and I haven't set up anything. I'll show y'all something though. I did get when I ordered my Lego Star Wars for May the 4th. I got a couple of free gifts. One of them was this little set, the droid battle tank. The other one was this, and this I thought this was a coin when it showed it on the website. That's kind of all you saw. But what this actually is, and it is a coin, but I'm going to leave it in the box to show you. It's like you're looking through Vader's ship's targeting system in the trench. when they're going through the Death Star trench and he's trying to target Luke's X-wing. So it has that little swinging reticle, like you're targeting that. And I thought it was really cool. It's all die cast metal. I'll take it out. There's the back, and then the front with the Lego Star Wars logo, and then the swinging reticle there. So I thought that was really cool. I didn't understand what it was from the pictures in the Gonzo. Gonzo's in here. Where's Gonzo? There he is. Hey, stranger. Good to see you, buddy. We need to talk. I need to catch up with you. Main Street Nick, welcome in. Good to see you. Let's see who else came in. Ryan Rowe, hello. And Monorail Molly. Hey, Molly. Good evening. And Piccolo True. Piccolo True loves Disney. Hello, Piccolo Truski. Welcome in. Gonzo, hope you're doing well, bud. We got to catch up. Jeff Condon, good evening, sir. Howdy. So yeah. If y'all missed, I saw Angie was talking about it. If y'all missed Pete's stream earlier at 7:00, and I did because work ran over, and then I had to go take care of the parents. But I want to go back and rewatch it. Pete and Molly interviewed Chris Crump, Raleigh Crump's son, Disney Imagineer, and I was looking forward to that one. I didn't get a chance to pop into it tonight live, but I'm going to watch it after this because he was always interesting to me, and I'm sure they got some good stories and interesting interviews. So, Jane Asheville, welcome in. Said it was a great interview. Cool. Can't wait to check it out. So, I will be doing that. Congrats to Preston's team. Preston won again today and moved into, I think it was the quarterfinals or semifinals. Were they in semifinals and moved into quarter? I can't remember, but they won today, and it was it's win or go home top competition right now. So they pulled out a big one, beat a team that had beat them earlier in the season. So that was awesome. It's hard to cram everything into an hour and a half interview. There are so many, I bet, especially for him. That's amazing. And there she is, the lovely, the beautiful, the ever so talented, the wonderful Snickerdoodle, the Daisy Duck to my Donald Duck, the, how am I feeling tonight? The Bonnie to my Clyde, the Maleficent to my Jafar, if we're going to go villains, I guess. The Minnie to my Mickey, the Daisy to my Donald, the sweet, sweet Snickerdoodle. Hello, dear. I just have to tell y'all, I talked to her on the phone. It makes my heart happy. I ain't afraid to say it. So there you go. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's the plan tonight. We're going to get back into the book. Pick up where we left off. I think if we Gonzo, hey. I think if we looked at it right after the last time we did book club, we've got tonight and one other night on this book. I think we can finish it up in two streams. So hopefully tonight, we should be able to wrap this one up. I'm ready to wrap this one up and move on to another book. This one has taken because of various issues, my surgery, Steve travel, different things like that. This book has taken way too long, and I'll be honest, it hasn't been our favorite one so far, but we're going to push through it. So, Wendy B, hey, hey, good to see you popping in from the beach. Nice. Hope you're having a good time, Wendy. Howdy. Um, yep. Uh, that's right. Snickerdoodle is going to be interviewed Sunday night on the Triple C's. Uh, Molly, I was talking to Snickerdoodle about that last night, and I was like, I may have to pull like an executive favor and have to call into that stream or something. That yeah. Anyway, I am. We made Fish Street tacos tonight. Yummy. That sounds good, Wendy B. That sounds really good. Um, I ordered. Um, we're gonna get all the Snickerdoodle tea. Yeah. Um. So it's me, David T. Welcome in. Good to see you. Um. That stumped me. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, I went to pick up mom and dad barbecue, and one of the specials they had. I need to join the stream. Well, after we finish the book, you're welcome to come on in tonight, Gonzo. I'll send you the link. Um, I want to get the book club done, and Steve should be here in about 5 minutes. Um, so I was going to say, oh, I went to pick up mom and dad barbecue at a local barbecue place for supper tonight, and one of their special items tonight for their daily specials was shrimp tacos, and I almost ordered me a shrimp taco, but it had other stuff on it, and I was not sure the stomach could handle the other stuff, so I held off. But I would love to have anyway. We need to talk about the snickerdoodle blah blah thing. No, we don't, Gonzo. That's my snickerdoodle. Uh, yeah. So, uh, I'm going to pull up the book because, like I said, Steve should be here any moment now. He had thought he would be only about 10 minutes late, 10, 15 at most. So he should be here any time now. We pick up tonight on childhood haunts. Um, is where we left off. And I'm so happy that the progress bar is near the end of this book. So, um, yeah. Um, it's getting there. Um, well, you did share a room with Gonzo, so he's probably feeling shafted. Well, I did. That was separate beds. I've been Hunter Edgar Wood. Welcome in. I've been mucking around with my graphics card settings. Is Chris' voice cutting in and out, or is it me? Somebody let me know. Am I cutting in and out, or not? Um, yeah. Um, Gonzo's probably jelly likes to exactly. Hmm. Fake snickerdoodle. So, not on my end. Sounds good. You're good. Okay. Just want to make sure. Um, so, um, You are fine on my phone. Cool. Right guy, welcome in. Good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Everybody was out bowling tonight at Splitsville, apparently. So I hope you had fun, right guy. I'm sure you did. Um, yeah. Um, Trying to think, there was something else I wanted to recap as well, but I can't remember what it is. So I will say, do that and then pick me up on the way as well. Yeah, yeah. You need to swing by and pick that guy up and bring him to the meetup. Duct tape and zip ties might work. Oh, yeah. And then technically, I could do that and then pick them up. That's true because yeah, we can do that. Right guy said they had a blast. I bet. Jeff was excited about the food. So, yeah. Um, so yeah, Gonzo, you could go to Baltimore with us. I can't share a room with you this time though. Sorry. Um, but yeah, I was gonna say something. I'm not gonna say it anyway. Yeah. So, Chris, did you book your first Disney cruise yet? I have not. It's me, David T. I did look at that Carnival email I got again, but I really want to try a different cruise. So um, I would like to try a Disney one at some point. Um, it's hard to do it. I'll tell. So here's my thing with Disney cruises, y'all. When you live the distance that I live, and you drive there uh, to go to a cruise or go to Disney World. And for the Disney cruise, I could go to Disney World. It's hard for me to do one over the other. So
It's not the internet. It was Instagram.
oh, was it?
I finally just gave up and I typed in Twitter and it worked. So I went to my phone, rerouted, got myself to Twitter, and
Oh,
Instagram won't load for some reason. Anyways,
oh,
hello.
hello. Um, did you have fun bowling? Right guy said he did.
We had a blast. It was awesome.
Awesome.
Just a bunch of good friends hanging out, having a good
Did you
time.
get the pizza again?
We did have the pizza. I think we had like 6 pizzas for the group, but it was good times, real good times. Had some Darth Vader cake, and my teeth, my tongue's still blue.
Stung to a blue.
We decided to take pictures after eating the Darth Vader cake, so everybody has blue teeth. So, yeah, it was stained it a little bit, but it's Ron Dufilly's birthday tomorrow. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Jeff was excited.
Jeff beat me by a few pins the first game, but I beat him the second game. He didn't throw his last ball, but still, he wouldn't have beat me. So it's good. We had a good time.
Nice. Well, yeah, I think we've got everything set up. We're picking up at childhood flaunts.
I got a very low battery. There we go. Go ahead. I'm ready.
I did want to show you something real quick, Steve. I already showed.
What do you got?
This was the other free gift with my Lego purchase on May the 4th. And we thought it was a metal coin.
It's what it looks like.
what it actually is, it has this slider in it, so it's like
Oh,
the targeting system in the Death Star.
oh, that's cool.
So
That's real
yeah.
cool. Hang on, I gotta go grab a. Give me right back.
Yep. So I knew he'd appreciate that.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. It's it's no pants Wednesday or Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I had to. I'm plugging in a cord to charge while I. Come on. There we go. Okay.
Jeff was complaining a little bit about the lanes there.
They were pretty. We had some pretty bad lanes.
Yeah.
The they weren't. You couldn't slide on them.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Jeff, at one point in time, I was playing around and got him that little thing where you just put the ball on it, you push it, and it wheels down. He got 8 pins on the first one. So he lined up for the spare, whatever. He threw a ball, got down. I swear to you, it was like the Flintstones that started going boom, 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 boom. And the ball just started going off to the side. I'm like, there was a big chip out of the ball. So we found out. So,
wow.
Are you getting ready to read Childhood Haunts? Is that where you're at?
That's where I'm picking up. Yeah.
And I believe, let's see here. If I remember correctly, you had a long chapter. Nope, you don't have that long of a chapter. Yeah, it's 20 pages.
And then I thought you were doing the next one. And
there's there's like the 1 page, the 3 page, and then the other chapter. But let me see how long it was. 380. Yeah, so they're about. Sorry, let me do this real quick.
You're all right. This is what we normally do before.
Yeah, 24. Yeah, you can either read the long chapter and the next little bitty one, or I can do it. It doesn't matter. So however you want to do it.
I'll start this one out and we'll go from there. See how the voice does.
Okay.
So, what had happened when we left off?
Yes.
She kept getting. They finally made it to the area that they were trying to get to, I think. And Philip's father showed up.
He did.
And he stayed behind to fight off the approaching demons or horde or whatever.
Whatever was coming.
They went deeper into the woods, deeper into Aurora's mind.
Yeah.
Apparently. And then they were interacted with a small girl who moved around like a ghost or flickered like a flame and teased and kept saying depressing things to Aurora, who kept kind of being overtaken by the earth and vines and everything. And she finally fought back and saved Philip and herself, and we think killed the little girl, but I don't know. The little girl said her name again or something. So yeah. So that's where we left off, was that encounter with the strange little girl. So here we go. Aurora Rose blinked. Instead of the expected dark but homey cottage with the usual paraphernalia. Yeah. Tidy hearth.
Paraphernalia,
Paraphernalia. Thank you. I don't know why I didn't put that together. Tidy hearth, pots, a broom. The interior was much, much larger than it should have been, and was also brilliant, blinding gold. When Aurora Rose's eyes finally adjusted, she saw where they really were, in an ornate, almost over-decorated room in the castle, her castle, a room she had never seen before. The walls were draped with tapestries of golden animals, rabbits, deer, birds, a unicorn. An orange fire blazed merrily within a positively giant fireplace, whose mantle was white marble inlaid with gold. Huge windows with leaded glass panes let in shafts of happy white sunlight. Thick rugs of white and gold thread covered the floor. Brightly colored swags of garlands of flowers hung from every exposed surface. In the middle of the room was a golden cradle. Above it stood two tall, motionless adults. Aurora Rose felt something in her throat, a sob or a cry of joy as she realized who they were and whom they were gazing at. She crept forward almost like a forest creature, hands clasping each other. She peeked in the cradle. There, kicking and pink face, was baby Aurora. Grown up Aurora knew herself immediately. The eyes were the same, the pale wisps of golden hair the same. While most people would have been endlessly fascinated by the chance to observe themselves at such an early age, grown up Aurora more wanted to see someone else. She turned to look at the two adults who loomed over the cradle. Queen Leah, almost like an older version of Aurora, but with slightly browner hair, slightly browner, thicker, friendlier eyebrows. The princess saw her where her cheeks would eventually wind up, shed of all their remaining baby fat, sailing above the high cheekbones she also inherited. But her mother's looks didn't matter. It was the look she gave her baby that mattered. The queen was completely and utterly enraptured by her daughter in the cradle. Her eyes were wide and unblinking. A very slight smile was on her parted lips. Nothing could distract her from her watch. King Stephen, skinny, a little tired looking, kind brown eyes above a not particularly royal mustache and beard. His robes gave his body some depth. The fire gave his cheeks a little ruddiness. Mother, Aurora Rose breathed. Father? The parents she had never known. The parents she was supposed to have been reunited with, only to be parted from on her 16th birthday, on her wedding day. The ones who had given her life and then given her away. And this was the only way she would ever get to see them again in her memories. Her mother's beautiful, loving face, her father's well, kingly one. She couldn't talk to them, ask them questions, hug them. She would never be able to find out why they had done what they had. She would never be able to curse them or forgive them. Philip coughed quietly, clearing his throat. Reluctantly, she looked up. Standing by the fireplace was the woman who had let them in, along with two other women. One was in all different, slightly faded shades of blue. She wore robes and belts and scarves and scraps of cloth, and even had quick blue eyes that matched, although they weren't faded. Her hair was as brown as a polished chestnut and tied up in crazy buns on the back of her head, with sticks pointing out all over to hold them in place. The third woman was huge, tall, muscled, strapping, and strong. She wore a red tunic over rust red leggings and boots. Her dark blonde hair hung to her waist and pushed back from her face with a simple leather headband. Her skin was tan and a little wind burned, and her light brown eyes were dancing. The fairies, Aurora Rose cried. Sort of, she added. Her memories still weren't perfect, but there was something off about them. Weren't they a little younger than her aunts? Or maybe they were older. They certainly dressed differently, and their eyes were different. They don't look exactly like the twinkling ladies who rescued me, Philip whispered, but they feel like them. Nothing was exactly the same in the dream world, said she. Wait. Nothing is exactly the same in the dream world, the one in blue said. Just as in your dreams, your own house seems different, with more rooms, or things within it placed strangely. Everything here is a result of your perception and edited by the quality of your memory. Reality is entirely subjective. She means don't worry, the one in green said. Things aren't what they seem, but that's not always a bad thing. You tried to rescue me in the castle, the princess said. You appeared to me and told me to wake up. Not precisely, not us, the blue one said. That was a manifestation of the real waking world fairies, as was the one who sent Hubert to guide you. Trust me, if we could have come to your rescue, the one in red said, I would have come with my sword drawn and from thirst for Maleficent's blood. Philip looked at her with something like affection. Here in this room, you are the only part of your memory completely free from Maleficent's reach, the woman in green said. She spread her arms and smiled. These are your deepest, oldest, most untouched memories. You guard them very carefully, as do we all. But that horrible girl thing attacked us not too far from here, Philip said accusingly. Just a little ways that way. Ah, the woman in green said sadly. The manifestation spoke truly, mostly. She was a piece of Aurora Rose herself, a monster from her own mind. Maleficent may have given her a nudge or awoken her fully, but she was always been close to the princess's heart. I don't get it myself, the woman in red said frankly. If it were up to me, I would have slain that nasty thing years ago in the real world. Focus, please, the one in blue said to the red one. Aurora, this all comes back to the fact that you are the dreamer. You, in the end, are responsible for this world, inadvertently the beginning and deliberately, hopefully, the end. Only you can end the curse and wake everyone. What we are experiencing now are the final effects of the magical promise made 16 years ago, sort of a balancing out of a magical equation. To wit, Maleficent publicly cursed you to die on your 16th birthday. Then Merriweather fixed it a bit with the amendment about you falling asleep. But unbeknownst to all of us, Maleficent tied her soul up in the curse. Had you actually died, your life force, and that of everyone else in the kingdom to a lesser effect, would have been transferred to her. Instead, when King Philip killed her, or excuse me, when Philip killed her, Maleficent's soul was still bound to you and followed you into your sleep. And of course, we can all see what the result of that was. Her controlling me in the world of my dreams, Aurora Rose murmured. And unfortunately, the lives of everyone else asleep with you, the one in greens added sadly. An unintended consequence of a little bit of good the fairies that thought they were doing by tying the fate of the kingdom to yours, so that even if it took 100 or 1,000 years for the curse to be broken by true love, you wouldn't wake up in a world you didn't know, surrounded by the great great grandchildren of people you knew. All of which is neither here nor there, the blue one continued. What is important is that a curse of this magnitude and complete complication can only be broken by spilling royal blood. Queen Maleficent, Aurora Rose murmured. The one in red smiled at her appreciatively. You must return to the castle and defeat her, she said, hand on her sword. You must kill her once and for all. The moment she is finally dead, and royal blood is shed. All fr- all will from their slumber rise and return to their waking lives. You will aid We will aid you, of course, she added with a bow. The princess let out a audible sigh of relief. She hadn't even realized she was holding her breath. Just the thought of the one in red battling by her side was encouraging. And having the other two around, well, they may at least be good for moral support. But as the dreamer, you already have incredible powers at your disposal, the one in green said. As you have discovered yourself, in the end, this is your world. You control it. All right, Philip said, tapping his own sword. We have our own sorceress Rose. Two good hand to hand fighters. Two whatever you green and blue ladies can do against Dream Maleficent. That sounds good, but what can Maleficent do really? I defeated her with help before. The green one looked uneasily at the princess. She has been growing stronger of late. I believe you can feel it because we can. The red one lowered her eyes and kneeled for just a moment before rising again. I'm sorry, Your Majesty, but the death of your parents has only made her more powerful. She is now fed upon royal blood and is much stronger. Your Majesty, Aurora Rose shivered. It was like the nightmare she had in the haystack. Had they called what they had called her because her parents were dead, and they were now. She was queen. She looked at Philip, who gave her a sad smile and a straight back bow royalty gave those of higher rank. She swallowed hard. Forget the word, she told herself. She had to act like a queen. Maleficent killed them and is more powerful, like she did Lady Astrid. Does she then takes something from them, their blood and her staff. I saw but didn't quite understand. The blue one nodded. She took my parents' blood and used it, the princess repeated, feeling the first stirrings of anger. You shall have your vengeance, the red one said grimly. The green one shook her head sadly. Vengeance will not bring them back. Aurora Rose was on the cusp of meeting her mother and father, from whom she was separated for 16 years. It is a miracle that even this memory of them still exists. She will never be able to talk to them, blame them, learn from them, hate them, or love them for themselves now. She can only deal with the results of their actions. The red one shrugged. Vengeance might make her feel better. Also, it would wake everyone up, the blue one pointed out brightly. A win all around. Show a little compassion, the green one hissed. Now the blue one shrugged. Not my thing. That's all you. I'm here to strategize. Aurora Rose looked back and forth among the three women, gladly distracted from the sad events by the puzzle before her. The fairies in real life had their own personalities, of course, despite their superficial similarities as ageless, chatty, loving ant figures. Flora tended to try to lead and made decisions for them. Meriwether seemed to understand the basic workings of the world better, although she rarely acted on this knowledge and instead chose to comment snarkily on it. Sometimes she got sneaky and went behind Flora's back. Fauna was the one who hugged the princess the most and often acted as an intermediary between the other two. The green one, Fauna, seemed more concerned with how Aurora Rose was feeling, how everyone was feeling. She was the one who had been waiting outside the cottage from the for the prince and princess, like she was the one who cared. And the blue one, Meriwether, seemed incredibly quick-minded and brilliant, and even snarkier. Flora was brave and powerful and ready to plunge into any physical combat, and not for anything, she was built like a gladiator. They were all acting like extreme versions of their real selves. What did it mean? She found herself drifting to the window. As she suspected, it did not look out on the lands beyond the outer wall. It was a view from her room in the cottage in the forest. Apple trees where birds nest and squirrels scampered. Birch trees whose golden leaves lit up the meadow in fall. A corner of the tiny kitchen garden the ants tended. A peaceful scene that combined wild and tamed nature in a way that was so familiar it hurt. I'm never coming back here in real life, am I? The three women looked at her sadly. Probably not, child. The one, excuse me, the green one said, or not for a long time. Sorry. With your parents dead and no male heir, there will be a terrible mess when you all wake up, assuming we defeat Maleficent, the blue one said. You will either take over the throne and defend it from the spurious claims of distant cousins, or marry Philip and combine your kingdoms, or some variation of those situations, none of which will leave you much time to visit childhood haunts. Aurora Rose sucked in a deep and sudden painful breath. It was the word childhood that stung. Before in the dream world, she would have rejected the term. She was 16 and a woman, for heaven's sake. She had chosen the love of her life and had planned to run away with him. But now, the looming permanent closing of a door on her past life seemed a little too inevitable and sad. I wake up and I'm grown up, she said dryly. That's more subtly. Sorry. There. Philip, who had been silent through the whole exchange, looked at her with concern. Rose, you didn't used to be so cynical, he said, scraping for words. Sarcastic? I know the death of your parents has been a grievous blow, but you're becoming, no, changing into something I don't know. She just looked at him. Not that I don't like it, Philip added quickly. You're just different. That's all. Oh, he's a regular genius, that one, the blue one said. The green one whacked her on the arm. Aurora Rose smiled faintly. Maybe I'm becoming myself. She took Philip's hand and pointed out the window. Come here, let me show you something. I used to climb that tree there, the biggest apple tree. I always thought the best apples were the highest up. I pretended the lower branches were a horse. You can just see the pea there, trellises, pea trellises there. I loved making them with my aunt Fauna out of dried vines and twigs. It was like weaving with plants, and I loved the little curly, curly Q ends of the peas. I would love to show. I would love you to show me around where you grew up. Philip said, gently squeezing her hand. Whatever you feel for me now, I would enjoy it someday. She gave the prince a quick, sad smile, then took his other hand and clasped them both for a moment. I know, but we have other things to do. The three women looked at her approvingly. They moved to the other side of the room and stood by a door Aurora Rose was sure hadn't been there before. She squared her shoulders and walked forward, head held high, imagining she had on robes of state Swirling behind her, Philip followed. First thing is to probably properly suit you two up, the blue one said matter of factly. They entered a long braid hall lined with suits of armor and closets and chests of clothing stuffed to overflowing. Dresses, doublets, capes, and underskirts were all crammed so tightly that it looked like the furniture was choking to death on ripples of bright colors. Helmets, snods, capes, gloves, tippets, girdles, and other accessories were piled haphazardly on shelves. At one time, Aurora Rose would have been thrilled to try on all the new and different gowns, but now she strode forward, looking for a nice pair of gauntlets that would fit instead. Philip was like a child in front of a table strewn with candy and sweets. He picked up helmets, held them out, and regarding them with a serious eye, then put them down, only to skip over to the greaves and cuirasses, practically bubbling with delight. Can't Rose just magic us up protection like an invisible shield or something? He asked, trying on breastplate for size. The green one gave him an indulgent smile. The less she has to think about, to concentrate on when the battle is joined, the better. Having those already on may buy you a few extra moments. At first, the princess went for the ugliest, most clumsy looking pieces in defiance of well being a princess. But when she went to the tarnished silver olive oval that served as a mirror and observed her slit mouthed metal mask, the grotesque gray gauntlets, and the huge shouldered spiked breastplate, all she saw was a monster. She cocked her head, and so did the monster. What was it thinking? Suddenly, she turned away from the mirror and went back to the racks and cupboards. You want something to inspire your subjects, the green fairy said gently, helping her to take the mask off, not frighten them. I know, Aurora said glumly. The green fairy squeezed her hands through the gauntlets. It's not fair that you don't have time to try on all the different possibilities. The princess gave her a wry look. My subconscious isn't all that subtle either, is it? In our defense, your world experience and reading habits haven't led you to being the most sophisticated person on the planet, the blue fairy said, blowing the dust off of what looked very much like a child's shield, complete with shiny gems set in it. She raised a knowing eyebrow. I don't I didn't know I had it in me to be so snarky either, the princess said, putting her hands on her hips. The blue fairy shrugged, just calling it like I see it. The red fairy disentangled herself from Philip, with whom she was having a broad laugh about the comparative weight and density of different kinds of steel. Try these, she suggested. She held out a pair of simple long gauntlets that were almost as fine as gloves, chain underneath and plate on top. Aurora carefully took off the one she wore and slipped the others on. They fit perfectly. This is a bit more your style, the blue one said, approaching her with a breastplate that was almost as big as she was. It was curved femininely to fit Aurora Rose's body, but not ridiculously so. A staid design of roses and thorns was inlaid along the sides. It was sturdy and heavy. The princess had to readjust the way she stood to support it while everyone helped it on the back. And for the top, the red one said, looking around. Let her choose, the green one suggested gently. Aurora Rose walked down the aisle slowly, getting used to the weight of the armor. She passed each of the women and then Philip, dashing in his shining, curious, and silver white greaves like a soldier from ancient Rome. Her eyes swept over everything, everywhere, pausing nowhere. Golden helms, intricate onyx headpieces, spiked and dangerous looking crowns, pleated metal turbans. Finally, she saw what she wanted. She strode forward and lifted a helmet, one she knew would fit, off the top shelf. A point came down in the middle of the forehead to protect her nose, and was also vaguely reminiscent of Maleficent's headpiece. But instead of horns, silver wings swept back over the ears. With slow, sure movements, she put it on. It did fit perfectly. She turned round to show the others. Philip sucked in his breath. You look magnificent, Rose. Like like an ancient goddess of war. Like victory, the green one said softly. The edges of everything around them changed, quietly and unobstructively. The five found themselves in a large, silent room that was a strange mixture of what a child might imagine a throne room looked like and the cottage in which Aurora Rose had grown up. The stones that made up the walls were all far too big and simple looking. The giant, the throne giant and garnished in gold. There were several fireplaces around the sides instead of one giant one the Thorn Castle had, and they all looked cozier, each a little pot and broom by it. The floor was packed dirt with no rugs, and the tables were ridiculously fancy, with huge carved feet and yellow and blue runners down the middle, but set the crude wood and clay bowls and tureens of porridge. Damn acorns again, Philip swore humorously, lifting the steaming lid. We're we're not too quite we're not hang on. We're not quite as skilled as Maleficent at manipulating your dream world. The green one apologized. This is what your mind came up with when we asked it for a practice room. Let's get to work, the green one said politely but firmly. We haven't much time. We need to work on summoning first, the blue one said, but do not try to do it immediately in battle. There are rules, even in this world. The creation of something from nothing will exhaust you unduly, as you may have already noticed. Better to make do with the things already around you. Keep this as a last resort. You made a sword before, the red one said, tilting her chin at the empty space on Aurora Rose's girdle, where it had hung previously. Can you make a dagger? Aurora Rose twitched her nose. Had she even seen a dagger? In the Thorn Castle, some men and boys affected them. She had never seen the blades used for anything more than cleaning fingernails, the uncouth, or stabbing food, the slightly more couth. She was pretty sure she had never held one. What about a knife, then? Just a knife, a sharp knife? The red one asked impatiently. Laura Rose could imagine that. Her aunts had never seemed to care when she had handled the one very sharp little bronze paring knife. They had let her hold it even as a toddler. She closed her eyes and held out her hands. She remembered the bone handle. She remembered the dull golden gleam. She remembered the sharp, slightly curved tip, perfect for starting to peel the thick rind of fruit or vegetable. She felt its weight in her hand even before she opened her eyes. Well done, cheered the green one. Good, good, the red fairy said impatiently. Now summon two more, quickly. Aurora Rose bit her lip. The additional daggers appeared in her palm, each was which was now sweaty. Great job, Philip said excitedly. Now throw them at the throne, the red one urged. Aurora Rose blinked, then did what she was told. She was good at that. She was not so good at throwing three daggers one handed. One flew not very far and went every which way, clattering on tables and dirt floor. Everyone stared at her. The princess reddened. With your mind, you ninny, the blue one snapped. The green one did not hit the blue one, though it looked like she was sorely tempted. You won't win against Maleficent in a fair hand-to-hand combat, the red one said politely. In this protected part of your mind, she can't see in. She won't know how strong your control over your own dements has become. So try again with magic. Aurora Rose chewed her lip, feeling embarrassed and hot. She closed her eyes. Not a good idea in a fight, Philip said gently. Keep your peepers open. Aurora Rose took a deep breath and forced her eyes to stay open, not blinking. She held out her hand. Three daggers appeared in it. She looked at the throne. The three daggers launched themselves through the air and whistled as they flew. Where they hit the back of the giant chair, the tips buried themselves into the wood. She let out a breath. Everyone cheered. That was a strange thing, she realized as she panted and felt her cheeks cool down. Almost like people believed she could do this. Like she could do this. Great, the red one said. Now grow a hill out of the middle of the floor.
They're preparing for the end battle. I can feel like we're almost done with this book.
We're getting there.
Yeah. You ready to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So the really long journey back to the castle. It was hard to tell how much time she spent practicing, but it felt like an infinite number of afternoons and summoning of rocks from the walls to come to her and rebuild themselves into a barrier. Unending hours of bringing anything weak and breakable down from the ceiling onto the head of her imagined enemy. Days of causing the very earth itself to ripple like the ocean under the feet of her assailant without a break for snacks. I like snacks. And yet it still wasn't as much time as they needed. We must go soon, the blue one told Philip in a low voice while the princess made chairs fly up and around the room. Time passes slowest in this, her most buried memory, but it passes nonetheless. Maleficent has abandoned all pretense of being good and may just keep consuming people until every one of them is gone. But once we leave here, she'll know where we are. But once we leave here, she'll know where we are, won't she? Philip asked. Unavoidable, the red one said, polishing the end of her sword. He watched her deft movements with frank admiration. We must progress back to the outer edge of her dreams, where the queen holds sway. She will not come to meet us. A bird helped trip one of Maleficent's traps on our way here, the prince said eagerly. Maybe along the way we could gather some more, have them help us. Birds, the blue one looked at him blankly. Oh, sure, yeah, birds. Why not? Any help, right? The green one patted his knee encouragingly. Philip twisted his lip in a suspicious pout. The chairs dipped in the air and almost fell as the princess tried not to laugh. All right, the red one said, giving her sword a final swipe with the leather strop that she had been using. Let's go. The little procession made its way back through the room with the cradle where the princess said a silent goodbye to her parents and her baby self, who seemed so happy in the moments before she was whisked away to the woods for 16 years. They filed through the front door into the twilight gloom, which seemed utterly appropriate for the beginning of their secret journey. The three women were suddenly wearing travel robes, though no one had said a thing or lifted a finger. Philip raised an eyebrow. Shouldn't we magic up some provisions or supplies for the return trip? Don't be silly. You don't really need to eat, the blue one said. You're not really here. Excuse me. It's like being dead, the green one said helpfully. You realize you only think you need the stuff the living do. Philip's look turned to one of comic dismay as the implications of what she'd said began to sink in. Meanwhile, Aurora Rose was thinking furiously in the pause before the storm. She had never done anything violent in her life before these adventures. She wasn't sure she could plan to now. Kill someone she knew. Would any of her remembered affection for Maleficent slow her hand when they faced off? It certainly wouldn't cause a moment's hesitation from Maleficent. She discreetly juggled 2 or 3 rocks at her side with her mind. It helped distract her. I'm going to miss this, she said aloud with a sigh. All this work, and when I wake up, I won't even have these powers anymore. You didn't have them to begin with, the Red Fairy said pragmatically. But she has experienced it now, the Green One said. It's hard to go back to not having something so wonderful. Plus, now she also knows she was living with fairies the whole time, and that's gone too. She's going back to being a regular human girl in a world where princesses are used as pawns and never have any sort of real power of their own. Thanks, the princess said. I was trying not to think about that. Hey, Phillips whispered in her ear as he caught up with her. I think I figured it out. The blue one is the smart one, and the red one is the brave one, and the green one is nice or compassionate or something. He really was just trying to help. Oh, yes, I'll bet that's probably right, she said slowly, trying to make it sound like she meant it. I was sort of coming to a similar conclusion myself. Philip smiled, pleased with her praise. Wish I had my horse. Samson could take at least 2 of us, or maybe 3. He's really strong, you know, just a bit temperamental. Did I ever tell you he was part Nisaean? You wouldn't guess it from his color. Definitely has war horse tendencies, I can tell you that. She understood that he was excited by the return journey to the castle, probably a little nervous about the final showdown, and perhaps showing off a bit to the one in red. I do wish there was a faster way to the castle, she said, instead of shut up. I'm worried about the time we're wasting to Maleficent and Maleficent's being able to see what we're interlude. That's a quite the weird place just to end in the middle of a sentence. Time became disjointed. Her head grew muddled and thick. For the very first time in the world of the Thorn Castle, she knew she was asleep, groggy and aware things weren't making sense, as if in the middle of a very deep dream. That was the interlude? That's it? Why would you put that in there? That's stupid. Back to the chapter, a new chapter. Her return. Be careful what you wish for, my dear. Aurora Rose was not altogether surprised to see that they were back in the throne room of the Thorn Castle. She blinked her eyes muzzily and was transfixed for just a moment by how out of place her little party looked. She in armor and golden rags, the 3 strange ladies dressed in red, blue, and green, the prince who looked somehow more alive and glowing than any of the murky people around the edges of the room. A blinding green light shone from the orb at the top of Maleficent's staff. It bathed the room in a sickly cast and confused the shadows. Her visage, never that healthy looking to begin with, was also a throbbing green. But the queen's purple and black robes lay thickly and luxuriously around her as always, and she sat with less of the tense elegance she had always had. Now she seemed more relaxed, almost sated. A raven perched next to her wrist on the throne and seemed to smile evilly. The princess was confused. Maleficent had never kept a pet. The shallow visual similarities between the two were not subtle. Both familiar and mistress were black, yellow, angular, and vicious looking. The princess turned away from the pulsing green light and blinked again to take a better look at the rest of the room. The people pressed against its walls were those she had spent the last subjective decades with. The people whose real bodies were elsewhere sleeping. They seemed strangely unfamiliar now, like someone was forcing her to name people in a portrait who were hard to distinguish and resembled others she might have known. Maleficent's unnatural servants stood guard in front of them. There were more of the nasty goblin-like creatures with yellow eyes than Aurora Rose remembered. They stood insolently with their spear tips crossed to make an improvised fence to hold her prisoners back. Obviously, the queen had given up all pretense. The poor nobles and servants and peasants now all knew what she was saving them for. Sorry, what? Prince Philip asked, clearly a little disoriented. Maleficent looked annoyed. What? What did you say? Just say. I missed it. I said, be careful what you wish for, the evil fairy hissed through her teeth. You were just wishing to arrive here faster. I arranged that for you. Yes, we get it. Very clever, Aurora Rose said a little impatiently. That was one nice thing about all of this. She realized that the guilt she felt for her irritation with Maleficent's more annoying habits was irrelevant now. She could be honestly irked by the woman's penchant for the dramatic. She looked deep into the woman's face, trying to recall everything she had felt for her and why. How she had wanted nothing more than respect, friendship, and love for her. But there was not a lot There was not a lot that was human in that face, she now realized, or even normal fairy. She saw the queen through two different sets of eyes, and her new vision was rapidly overtaking the old. This was an unapologetically evil, powerful, power mad, and furious creature in front of her. What would a real queen do in Aurora's place? Please step down from my throne, Queen Aurora said. Queen Aurora Rose said coldly, and release me from this curse. Maleficent was gently taken aback for a moment, her yellow eyes flaring in surprise. Then she threw back her head and laughed. The raven cackled in unison with her. Her other evil servants gibbered and hooted as soon as they felt it was right to do so. And what, oh beneficent Princess Aurora, you'll deign to spare my life? No, but I shall grant you a dignified and quick death. She felt rather than saw the change in stance of those around her, she would bet that the prince was smiling grimly. Maleficent cocked her head and gave a knowing look. She stroked the raven for effect. Well, my, a few short days in the world outside the castle, and suddenly you've become a cold blood killer. I haven't become anything of the sort. In my authority as queen of the realm, I am executing a known criminal, assassin, and enemy to the state. Why not throw me in prison and have me rot there forever? Maleficent asked philosophically. The younger woman raised an eyebrow at the fairy. Apparently, killing you once isn't enough to get rid of you, she said dryly. I hardly think dream prison bars, would hold you. Oh, you flatter me, Maleficent said, looking down and touching her chest coyly. But her grin was all evil and hellfire. She hissed, of course you also flatter yourself if you think you can get within a foot of this throne without my obliterating you on the spot. She ducked her head like a dragon she had briefly been, prepared to strike. Prince Philip flinched. When the evil fairy hunched over, Lyanna was revealed standing behind the throne, her black eyes unreadable, her face impassive. Greetings, Lady Lyanna, Aurora Rose said coldly, nodding toward the girl. I'm delighted to see things worked out so well for you. Oh, Maleficent said, putting on a moue of surprise and concern. Did you think she was replacing you as my ward? Her face twisted into a sneer. She's nothing. Don't you know that? Just a little bit of my essence and a lot of clever magic, with some help from the powers below. At this, Lyanna's eyes hardened. She didn't move. Aurora Rose had a comeback ready, but it died on her tongue. All her queenliness shifted for a moment, slipped aside as a twice or feigned girl broke through. But did you feel nothing at it? Did you feel nothing at all for me? She whispered. Maleficent looked shocked at the question. The room was silent. Everyone else also seemed surprised by this turn of the conversation. All of those years, Aurora Rose said, pressing her, advancing slowly to the throne, on the throne. All those talks we had, all those meals we shared, all the things we did together. Did you really feel nothing for me? Maleficent gripped the top of her staff tightly. Her fingers over the orb caused the hideous light of the room to dim. Every human shuddered in relief. You were my means to an end, she finally said. You're not answering my question, Aurora Rose made herself say. It was hard, but felt good. Never in either life had she ever questioned someone in authority before. Whatever feelings I may initially have had in the rearing of a human child, in the end were irrelevant, Maleficent said. Through your death, I would live again. After being murdered so callously by your prince. Murdered? You were trying to kill him because he was trying to save me. Are you that deluded, Maleficent? All of this came about because of the curse you put on me as a baby, she yelled. A baby, because you weren't invited to a party. Your parents had no respect for me and the powers that I wield. You cursed a baby because you were slighted. Prince Philip moved quietly up to the next to her hand on his sword, to her hand on his sword. Maleficent shrugged one elegant shoulder. And do not slight those of great power. I believe that's the lesson to be learned here. Aurora Rose suddenly felt the urge to draw a weary and exasperated hand over her face. She was losing this verbal battle. She was losing her own train of thought. There was nothing to reach in Maleficent. The princess had been raised in a dream world by a mad woman. She had been looking for a mother in a monster. The three fairies and Prince Philip moved in close around her, sensing a change. They faced Maleficent together. What made you so horrible, Maleficent? The blue one demanded. What made you into this monster of a fairy? Was it something in your childhood? The green one asked. Is that why not being invited to a party irked you so much? Who cares? The red one said, brandishing her sword. She's evil now. Let's get her. What if I had some little power? Aurora Rose interrupted. What if I had some ability in me like yours? Would you have kept me close and taught me well, schooled me in the arts of magic? Maleficent was speechless for a moment upon the realization that Aurora had overheard that conversation with her parents. But you have no powers, she finally said. It is irrelevant. The two women looked at each other in the eye. Then a dagger flew through the air and buried itself into the throne next to Maleficent's head. The evil fairy's eyes widened in shock. But what if I did? Aurora Rose whispered fiercely. Doesn't count, Maleficent said slowly. This world isn't real. The princess almost threw her hands up in frustration. What about all those special tutors you assigned to me? What about all those things you did that seemed a whole lot like caring? It was just a game, Maleficent said lightly, to keep me amused in this dreadfully boring place. But she couldn't look at the princess in the eye. She faltered under Aurora Rose's stare and turned to pet her raven to get away from it. She would never, ever reveal the truth, even if there was some last lingering thread of humanity about her. You have no idea, Aurora Rose said with a mix of relief and disappointment, how close I actually was to being able to forgive you. Killing you is going to be so much easier now. Maleficent recovered herself quickly. Easier? Killing me? I think you speak too soon, mighty queen. I am less than a foot from you, Aurora Rose whispered into the fairy's face, and I'm not obliterated. There was utter silence in the castle as all watched the evil fairy with the horns and the princess with the silver helm glare at each other, their noses no more than an inch apart. Maleficent's jaw worked twice before fury overcame her. She thrashed her staff arm impatiently. Vines, thick, rubbery, and strong, but sickly looking, twined up the princess's legs and torso. Suddenly, she was being pulled backwards, sliding across the throne room floor. Rose, Philip cried, trying to grab her. When she was about 20 feet away, the vines hardened into woody trunks that glued her to the floor and pinned her arms to the sides. Maleficent rose, her cape and robes billowing behind her, caught up in the eddies of the magic she was beginning to summon. At once, the green fairy was flying between the two of them. It was a little shocking. The three women hadn't shown any fairy-like abilities up to that point, and seeing a full-grown middle-aged lady go buzzing overhead, albeit one who seemed to get slightly smaller as she went, was slightly unnerving. Be reasonable, Maleficent, the green fairy said, sounding like a disappointed mother making a last effort with an unruly child before punishing her. This is Aurora's world. You can't hope to win. You're in her mind. Oh, I have no fear in that, Maleficent said calmly. Her raven cackled once. The little girl barely can figure out her own feelings, much less what she wants or how the world works. No, now out of my way, you useless firefly. She pointed her staff and a flash of purple lightning crackled out. The green fairy dipped and just barely avoided it. The bolt hit a stone in the ceiling above her, which exploded, leaving a sooty black mark where it had been. The green fairy gave Maleficent a chastising look. People change. People grow, Maleficent. Normal people. The queen ignored her and kept letting the lightning bolts fly. Despite the green fairy's size and billowing dress, she managed to deftly avoid most of them. The throne room lit up with purple flashes, and she buzzed around them as they illuminated her features. In fact, very much like a firefly. One bolt veered off and shot over one of the prisoners. He ducked, but it still managed to set his hat in ugly purple fire. The poor man threw it to the ground and stomped on it despite the warning growls from the guards. Can we do this someplace else? The green fairy demanded worriedly. There are a lot of innocent bystanders who will die in the real world if they're hit in one of these, or hit in this one. Aurora Rose wondered if the green fairy knew how incredibly stupid she was being. Maleficent did what anyone who knew Maleficent at all would expect. She grinned a toothy, lips pulled back, skull-like grin and pointed with her staff. A purple crack of lightning exploded from it and roared its way across the room, then ended its path in the heart of a man, Aurora's old painting tutor. He groaned once and then crumpled. The smell of burning human flesh filled the air. Aurora Rose swore in rage and struggled against the vines. At least they didn't cut into her skin, protected as she was by her breastplate and gauntlets. Then she remembered she didn't need to be anywhere to do what she needed to do. She tried not to close her eyes and calmed her inner self. Not yet, the blue fairy whispered to Aurora Rose. Let us do the initial battle. Wear her down. Keep your attack as a surprise at the end. But more people will die. Everybody will die if Maleficent wins, the blue one shot back. Try to think tactically. Murderer, the green fairy howled and dove for the queen. Maleficent aimed around her, picking out another prisoner in the crowd. The green fairy banked to the side to intercept the bolt. She held out her hand. Suddenly, there was a wand in it. A crackle of golden energy flashed out and knocked the purple magic aside. Gold and purple sparks rained out on the room as they canceled each other out. As if she was choosing flowers, Maleficent calmly aimed her staff at different people in the room and then fired. The green fairy dove and twisted, shot high and rolled, parrying each bolt with a bolt of her own. Maleficent twirled her staff and bit her lip, but she didn't seem that concerned. It was more like she was playing a difficult game than trying to kill people. Her attacks came faster. The dream prisoners cowered and ducked. Gold and purple light made terrible shadows behind them, multiplied the prisoners by 1,000 shadow prisoners. Maleficent's evil servants laughed and only occasionally tried to avoid the bolts. One got hit. He exploded on the spot. Fangs and tusks and yellow eyes, and trotters all disintegrating immediately and becoming black soot. There was nothing wet, nothing animal, nothing real or alive about the death. His compatriots standing on either side hooted and laughed at his fate and their luck. And then Maleficent suddenly turned and aimed her staff directly at the green fairy. With a toothy snarl, she sent a giant bolt arcing across the room. The green fairy dove, but she was too slow, too late, too concerned with saving other people's lives to worry about her own. Her legs and arms flailed outward as the energy hit her directly in the heart. Purple rays erupted from her eyes. There was a huge, brilliant explosion. Aurora Rose turned away, unable to look. When the light faded, a small, dim green ball hung uselessly in the air where the fairy had been. It dipped and bobbed a little, unintelligent and barely animate. "Begone, little firefly," Maleficent laughed. The red fairy let out a strangled cry of rage. She ran forward, sword drawn, making straight for Maleficent's heart. Maleficent dipped her staff experimentally at the woman. The red fairy deflected the purple bolt easily, parrying it away as if it was nothing more than a fly. Maleficent fired again. The red fairy deflected the lightning again. Maleficent frowned and sent out a spray of bolts, dozens of them, one after the other. All that resulted in was the red fairy's slowing her advance to defend herself from the attacks. She didn't stop. Her arms moved quickly, her muscles flexed beautifully as she contorted herself into different positions to avoid being hit. Her brow furrowed with the effort, but her eyes remained clear, full of concentration and anger, not a hint of fear. She managed to inch her way forward a little at a time. Prince Philip, still beside the mostly frozen Aurora Rose, tensed his own muscles and reached unthinkingly for his sword. "Not yet," the Blue Fairy whispered. "Your lives are short and precious. Save the wasting of them to the end if we have failed." Philip nodded, but didn't take his eyes from the fight. Liana also watched the fight unblinkingly. The sparks from the magic and flashes from the red fairy's enchanted sword glittered in her eyes. With everyone watching the incredible battle in the front of the throne, it was unsurprising that no one noticed two of Maleficent's servants creeping up on either side of the red fairy until it was almost too late. "Look out!" Aurora Rose shouted. "On your left!" Philip cried. The red fairy didn't turn around, but instead thrust her sword back up under her armpit, surprising the creature behind her. Her blade sank deep into his chest, but she didn't waste a moment watching him gurgle and bubble and sputter and die. She spun and dove, slicing the second creature's feet out from underneath him. "Doesn't have a leg to stand on," the Blue Fairy quipped, unable to help herself. Maleficent swung her staff, and a purple bolt grazed the red fairy's left calf. She staggered and fell to her knees. No cry escaped her lips. She sucked in her breath and shook with pain, but she still forced herself to rise. Maleficent muttered something unintelligible and aimed again. This time, instead of large purple bolts, little sickly green fireballs shot from her staff. These flickered strangely and were connected to each other by syrupy strands of magic. The red fairy looked confused for a moment, but she beat each away easily, one, another, a dozen. But once they hit something, the balls didn't dissipate the way the purple bolts had. They drifted to the floor, the sickly green strands that flowed behind them, taking much longer to fall, slowly arcing to the ground like cold honey. The more she hit the balls away from herself, the more the strands built up around her. They stuck to her clothing, her feet, her arms and legs, everything except her sword. Before long, the red fairy was completely entangled. Big gobs of the glowing green stuff dripped from her arms, dragging them down. Then they pulled her sword arm closer to the floor, even as she still tried to parry the attacks. Soon she couldn't move at all. Maleficent smiled widely with satisfaction. Then, as gently as if she were a dewdrop fairy anointing a flower, she tipped her staff lightly at her opponent. A giant purple flash erupted, engulfing the red fairy and her bonds and everything else within a few feet. Aurora Rose screamed and turned her head. Philip put his arm around her but didn't look away. A weak red ember glowed amid the scorched, foul-smelling residue of the evil magic that burned on the floor. Maleficent tossed her head back and laughed. Likewise, her raven cackled. She put her free hand out to scratch its throat. Well, she asked, you're all going to die eventually. Who wants to be next? And when we're all gone, then what? Aurora Rose growled. You prance self-importantly around an empty castle. You think ruling a bunch of pathetic humans is my ultimate goal? Maleficent asked with put on surprise. I really don't care a whit about you festering house apes or your ridiculous kingdoms. No, you only care about the parties they throw and whom they invite, the princess said archly. Prince Philip grinned. Nice one, the blue fairy said, drifting forward. She turned once in the air, giving Aurora Rose a mock military salute. The fairy had little doubt about the outcome of her assault, but she didn't approach Maleficent directly. Instead, she drifted toward the edge of the room to the far corner and hovered just over some prisoners and their guards. All right, Maleficent, she said, do at least try to remain consistent. If you don't care about humans at all, you shouldn't care about killing them, so leave them alone. Maleficent, still stung from Aurora Rose's jab, set her chin and leaned back, putting her concentration to a bolt of immense size. The blue fairy delicately bounced out of the way. The bolt struck the floor between two of the guards, enveloping them both in a purple fire until they burnt away to nothing. I repeat my question from earlier, Maleficent, the blue fairy said almost casually. She floated to the other side of the room like she didn't have a plan beyond keeping as much distance between her and the queen as possible. What happened to you? You weren't always this insane. A bit touchy, perhaps, and malicious, but not hell-bent on evil. It is not evil to want to live, to continue my life that was cut off so prematurely, Maleficent snarled, hurling another bolt at her. The blue fairy ducked, revealing the guard she stood in front of. He received the full of the blast and exploded in surprise. Aurora Rose began to smile, seeing what she was doing. She's trying to even the odds for us, Philip whispered excitedly. I know, shut up. And I can tell you from personal experience, the blue fairy continued, slowly drifting down the line of prisoners and guards as if she were inspecting them, that royal parties are really not as much fun as you would imagine. I like humans more than you. Don't get me wrong, but they're shockingly smug, especially their kings and queens. With inarticulate rage, Maleficent hurled bolt after bolt at her. The blue fairy dipped her head and bowed and twisted out of the way, moving as little as possible to avoid all the attacks aimed at her. Almost every missed bolt hit another guard, sending it back to hell or wherever it came from. Any golden dish domes, really? Who needs them? I've got at least half a dozen from various birthdays and christenings over the centuries. They just sort of clutter up the place. Trust me, you didn't miss much at the party. 4 more bolts, 4 more guards. The 5th bolt singed the back of the blue fairy's dress, but she didn't even wince. She just continued her maddening little flight. I deserve more respect than that, Maleficent hissed. Yes, you keep saying that. Have you ever thought that maybe they were afraid you'd make a rather unpleasant party guest? I mean, I can't imagine why they would think that. But this time she couldn't help letting out a yelp as an extra large, furious purple bolt shot from Maleficent's staff. She dove out of the way, holding her head. But the blue fairy was not as agile or quick as the red one. The magic caught her full in the side. Purple flames crawled over the left half of her body, singeing her flesh as she struggled to keep going. So touchy, she croaked through scorched black lips. She limped, half flying, half walking towards Maleficent. Die already, you annoying gnat, Maleficent swore. The blue fairy suddenly lunged, diving at Maleficent instead of moving away from her. When the killing bolt got her, it was too close to the evil fairy for her to entirely escape its burning aftermath. Maleficent shrieked as flames licked up her face, leaving charred tracks on her cheeks. The blue fairy gave a wink to Aurora Rose and Philip with a swollen eye, then vanished into the fire. Only another weak little will-o'-the-wisp remained, blue, hovering over her ashes. The evil queen wiped her face with the back of her hand and looked surprised by the blood she saw there. If she appeared merely unhealthy before, now she was positively frightening, bloody and burned and still pulsing a ghastly green. She managed to cackle hoarsely. No matter, I will be whole in the matter of minutes now. Guards, bring me a victim. There was a pause. Guards, she ordered again. There were only a couple of the inhuman things left, and they looked unsure of themselves now, shaken and unmoving. With most of their cohorts wiped out, they were no longer gibbering and hooting at death. Don't you dare, Aurora Rose said. You're killing your last innocent. Oh, no, I haven't. You've killed your last innocent. Oh, no, I haven't. Maleficent hissed, striding forward with her staff. It's your turn now, sweetest, and there's no one left to save you. We're like getting to the good stuff now.
Yeah.
That is going to be a great ending now. We're finally getting somewhere.
Finally. Yeah. That was a weird jump though. From where the other chapter ended, that weird interlude, and then all of a sudden we're in the film.
It didn't make any sense. So there was a short 2-page chapter, then a 4-line interlude, and then there. And I'm like, we could have done without that. I think
there was a much easier way to make that transition without it being so weird to read.
Yeah. So we are almost done.
Thankfully. So there you go. I think so we've got
there's a 15-page chapter and then a 13-page chapter and then like a one, then there's a few small ones. We'll finish it next time. You'll probably read a chapter and a half or two because they're long, and then they're all the little wrap-up crap at the end. One of them's called Epilogue, All Good Things. So we'll finish it up.
We'll finish it up next time. So thankfully.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Almost done.
I'm interested to see how it ends. I'm also thankful that it's going to end. So yeah, Jeanette, Sebastian the Crab, welcome in. Howdy. If anybody else came in, I'm sorry while we were reading. 13. But yeah, I'm sorry to see the fairies maybe say goodbye. I'm hoping maybe that was just
it's not the real world.
Yeah, exactly.
But they do die when she kills them, though. So who knows?
I don't know. So
there's some magic in the air.
We'll see. But yeah, we're down to the big showdown.
Yes. Let's get this book over with and move on to the next one.
So there you go.
Now it's turning out to be okay. It was a tough read, tough
read
to stay. Which is also I made this comment before that it's not one of my favorite stories.
Yeah,
my least favorite stories of Disney. Even though it gives us one of the best villains, I love the fairies.
Yeah,
I just don't like the show that much.
It's amazing the iconicness of some of the characters of this.
Yeah,
but it's really not one of my favorite stories.
Mine either.
Or movies. So
there you go,
though. Yeah. Yes, please get this book over, says Mar. I feel you, Mar.
Yeah.
So yeah,
we're trying.
We should be done with the next one with this next time. Next Tuesday night.
We'll make sure of it.
Yep. And then on to the next from there.
Is it the Beast one?
I believe it is Beast.
I can't remember. So we'll tell you all about it next time, though.
Yeah, we'll have.
I think Mulan is either 4 or 5. I think Mulan's one of those two.
Yeah,
it's either 4th or 5th because I was told it is out there.
Really,
it's not like necessarily confusing, but like thought process. Like you know how twisted the Aladdin one was. This one's like way out there. But I got some bad news. Mulan is also one of my least favorite Disney stories. So,
yeah,
but it'll be fun.
Stacy says yes, Beast is next. Okay.
They don't really.
Yeah, Stacy bought like the first 3 or something.
Do what?
Stacy bought the first 3 when we
Okay.
first started these. So
Yeah, I don't. They don't really tie together, but I do want to read them in order, the way they
yeah,
were written, came
right.
out. What's so
So,
shocking though is the same author that did the first one did this one.
and
And
it's just
this one
it's like
seems to have a lot of nonsense in it, like that interlude. What was that in there for? It made no sense. It's almost like, hey, I need more pages in this book. Let,
right.
let's write nonsense down. And there's a lot of repeated words. Like you had the word of, I think, 3 times in a row. Like it's like of,
It just
well, this. I'm like, we don't need of 3 times there. Like we get it. They're trying to think of what to say.
right.
So
The weird thing too with this one is the others have like very matching covers. This is the only one that has a
true.
very different cover.
True. The rest of them are all the exact same scheme,
Yeah.
just switched out for what it is. This one was totally different.
Like a silhouette of the main character with
Yep.
background images. This one's very different.
Yep.
But yeah, if you read this book and the last book, I swear if I didn't know any better, I would think they were 2 different people.
Completely different author, but
Um,
it's not. It's the same.
and that's just really weird. Um, I don't know if she was in a different phase of her life when she wrote this book or what.
Let's go with maybe she was so excited about the first one. Maybe she had a little too much wine and wrote the second one.
Maybe. Yeah. So we pick up next time with maybe another denouement. And then
We're gonna finish the book. There's so many 1 and 2 page chapters at the after. Like you have a big chapter, and there's a semi big chapter, and then it's all like 1 or 2 page things.
Yeah.
So just to wrap, I don't think any of it has anything to do with the story. The main part of the story is going to come in the next chapter.
Next 2
Where
chapters.
you're going to basically finish the story up, and then I'm going to like,
Yeah.
and they live happily ever after type thing. Maybe we don't know.
But yeah. I know there were several people that read ahead with the Aladdin book. I don't know that anyone's been anxious to read ahead with this book other than
I think a
just
lot of
get it
people are
over.
anxious to get it over with.
Exactly. So, yeah, we are too. Trust me. When we were talking backstage the other night, I was like, we both said out loud, actually, we've got to finish this book.
Yes. It's just so easy to push it off too, because like neither one of us were really into it for a very long time. This got me into it. I was really like the battle was there, and then yeah, we're gonna wait till the next week to figure it out. The rest. So,
Angie said I didn't even read this one, and she skipped ahead on the last one. So
it's a rough read. I'm not gonna lie.
Someone told me that they had read ahead. Yeah. So we should buy the next book this week, right, Chris?
If you want to get it in time, we will finish this one next Tuesday, and then so 2 weeks from tonight we'll start the new book.
Right. Yeah. So there you go. We did a chill stream last night, Steve, after you finished.
Yeah, I met up with friends last night. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's all good. I had decided to stream. I had thought I would take the night off, to be honest, but I really wanted to work on this villain's Lego. I was really anxious.
Yeah. Did you finish it?
We didn't even touch the Lego. We sat here and talked all night.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for you.
It was me and Sparkly Pink Diamonds and Jeff.
Nice.
And Jeff came in and pronounced how much he enjoyed Simple Plans.
Yeah, I was aware.
And that you were right all along and how wonderful they were.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, it was story time with Jeff. I did see that.
Are you gonna work on it now?
Well, I thought about it. Unless you want to call it a night.
I don't care what you do. It's your stream. I'm gonna be here regardless. So.
Oh, and we learned Angie can't swim, even though she has a pool.
Do you put on the floaties and the arms and the life vest and everything? Just go float.
She doesn't even try. I don't think.
Boo.
I think she said her father was in the Coast Guard, and
What?
her brother is like a deep sea diver or something, and she can't swim,
But it has a pool.
but she has a pool.
So what do you? I mean, you can still enjoy a pool, not being able to swim, though.
She has an assignment now from Jeff, though.
Oh, geez.
She's supposed to learn how to swim because when she gets there in December, we're gonna knock her into the pool at Boardwalk, and she's either gonna have to figure it out or something. So, yeah.
Oh man, better learn real quick because crocodiles and alligators. I mean, alligators can swim fast, so
That's true. All right. I think I am going to do some Lego.
you're the one that's either not feeling well or feeling whatever. So if
Unless
you want to
I'm
do
both.
it, let's do it. Oh, please work.
Yeah, Jeff did
Maybe.
yell at one point.
Maybe.
I need to move a box.
Dang it, that's blurry. Do what?
I need to move a box.
Move it. Oh, there it is. Box got moved.
It just makes me so happy. What was funny is Snickerdoodle, I'm going to tell on you. Snickerdoodle said that she thought she was going to have to make that my ringtone now. So,
hey, that works.
yeah. So, this is Noah. Welcome in. Howdy. Good to see you. Yes. I have one too, Noah. It's a beautiful box.
I didn't get mine
to go on it. And a stormtrooper helmet to set atop it.
Do what?
I said, and a hippo and a stormtrooper to set atop of it. So. I never realized what Jeanette said. I never realized how much like a hymn the beginning of that sounds until you played it 10 times a night.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So, all right.
Work. That would have worked.
Oh, I wanted to show you something real quick, Steve, before I switch cameras. Let me go here. There was something new today. Let's go here. And we'll go there. There.
That's gonna work or not.
Oh, my page glitched. Go back to here. And there it is. All right. Couple more new Lego sets that dropped today, Steve.
Ooh.
Coming soon.
Dang it.
One of them is this. It's a retro radio.
Oh, I like that.
906 pieces, $99.99. And I believe this is actually a working radio.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I think I saw somewhere that you can make it a working radio.
Oh.
So there you go. Kind of a cool look. Complete with an antenna and all. That comes out June the 1st. This is the Dancing Groot. And you can have sunglasses and headphones on him or not.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, there you go. 459 pieces, $44.99. That looks like the radio my dad bought me in 1970. Yeah, there you go. Here you go, Steve. This is the one you need to look at, though.
Ooh, I like it. Let's go.
This is the Lord of the Rings, Barad-dûr, the Eye of Sauron. This thing is 5,471 pieces.
That's huge.
It stands over.
Does it got the gate too?
It has the gate too. This stands over 32.5 inches tall.
Wow.
The eye, I watched a video on it. The eye you can actually reposition and it looks around.
Huh.
You can make it look around. There's the giant box.
Wow.
There's the back with the cutouts of all the rooms, the dungeons. It breaks down in like layers. The top spire comes off, and then the main building breaks down in layers. So there's
what is who are the minifigs you get?
You get a whole bunch of minifigs. There's the throne room. There's the top that comes out. There's the gate. There's all your minifigs, including Gollum, Sam, Frodo, the orcs.
One of the ring wraiths.
Yeah. And then he who shall not be named, or whatever his name is.
Saruman.
Yeah, that one. There you go.
He who shall not be named is Voldemort.
Yeah.
Harry Potter.
But so cool.
Harry Potter.
There's like hidden little drawers and everything in it.
That is cool, man.
Yeah. I really like that one, but that's $459.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. It would look great though to have it on like opposing tables from the Middle Earth, the Rivendell set. To have those two kind of on opposite tables would look amazing.
Yep, it would. That would be so cool. Man, can you imagine if they start coming out with all these? You can build the entirety of the Lord of the Rings around. We need Helm's Deep, the battle for Helm's Deep. We need that on there. Cool. The Mines of Mordor.
Snickerdoodle sent me a reel someone posted. They're coming out with Frodo's house. So it even has like the round door and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It's a smaller set, but it looked really cool, really detailed.
Cool.
It's not on the website yet, but yeah. So there you go. I thought that was cool. And there's a if I remember right, there is a light that you put in right below the eye so that it lights up the eye.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I was excited for that one.
That's super cool.
Now I will go down a rabbit hole to watch videos about this set. Exactly, Jeanette. You're welcome. Brixie put out one today. He's one of the Lego YouTube channels that I follow a lot. It's Brixie, just like brick. Bricksie, Brixie. He does a lot of YouTube. Well, he does all Lego stuff, but he actually opened the box and showed it.
Oh, nice.
And everything. So yeah. Yeah, really cool. Did you see the teaser trailer for season 2 of Lord of the Rings that dropped today? I saw you sent it.
Oh, I don't do teaser trailers.
I saw you send it, Stacy, but I hadn't watched it. To be honest, I haven't watched season 1 of it.
What?
I haven't watched season 1 of The Ring of Power.
That's crazy.
So, yeah.
Chris has homework.
Yep. So, all right, we're gonna do Lego. I'm gonna switch
Do
my
it.
camera over here,
Do it.
and I'm gonna drop in some music.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, something like that. Amazon Prime is the one that dropped the teaser trailer. Yeah, Prime dropped a trailer for it today. So, let's go here.
What'd I do with the?
Let's go with this one.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, see.
Now then, I have to find what bag we're on. That would be 7.
Perfect. That's what I want. All right. Oh yeah, I gotta do this real quick. You sure are making a lot of noise. No, I'm just kidding.
All right.
No, rip it open. It's a good sound.
There.
260.
All that done, and here we are on page 7. And I need to move my screen over.
There we go. Let's see.
The box is huge, Jeanette. Yeah.
What was it?
The box for that Lego set is huge.
Yeah, I bet. That's heavy too.
Yeah.
Because those aren't like the little dots where you get 5,000 pieces. That thing is a monster.
That's big pieces. Yeah.
32 inches. It stands almost 3 feet tall.
Yeah. He's a big boy.
Mm-hmm. This is a little different music. Okay, that's done. Now, what am I going to do? Nope. All right, there we go. Let's see here. No.
So there was a date. I thought I saw today, Steve. They announced a date for pass holder previews of Tiana's Bayou.
Yeah, so they screwed up. It's the 13th to the 17th. They didn't send out all the emails. They didn't do any real announcements. They kind of snuck it in, and then they were gone instantly.
Really?
Yeah. So there's a lot of people that are very upset. And like instantly, if you tried, they were gone.
Wow.
So it was quite disappointing.
That's crazy.
Okay. Oh my. Okay. What am I gonna do, Chris? What do I want to do? Chris, I went back. So I went back. I had one, the Spike the Bee thing, right?
Yeah.
They were doing the little cornhole boards, the little bitty ones.
Uh-huh.
I did 2 of those back in the day, and I got 2 of them. About the Spike, I got the Spike the Bee one and the Orangeburg one. Then they sold out of them completely. They're gone.
Right.
Well, I had purchased one more because I was going to get whatever they were giving away, the plates or whatever it was.
Yeah, yeah.
I went back on Saturday to do the rest of my filming and taking pictures for the event. Went to turn it in. They had all four of the boards again.
Oh, really?
So I bought an extra one real quick and got the other two. So I got all four of the cornhole boards.
Oh, sweet. Those were really cool.
Yeah. Is it raining in Orlando yet? We had a nasty storm earlier today around noon. I don't think it's we have more rain coming, I think, tomorrow, but let me look. 6 a.m. is when we'll get more rain. We had the nasty storm come through earlier today. It dropped so much rain on top of us, but after it did, that it rained till about 2:00. I got off at work at 4:30, and there wasn't a trace of rain around.
Really?
So we were so drought stricken that it was gone instantly.
That's crazy.
We do have more rain coming around 6 a.m., and I believe it's pretty heavy rain. Am I correct in that?
Supposed to rain here tomorrow.
Yeah, thunderstorms, high level chance of thunderstorms from 6 a.m. till 6 p.m., so 7 p.m. So, yeah, we got a good chance of rain all day tomorrow. Oh, man. I'm supposed to be out in that tomorrow.
Sunday says 100% chest. I guess I better back ponchos. Ed, are you going back down again?
Is it this Sunday already? Let's see what mine says here. Saturday. Oh, mine says it's down to 77% chance, Jeanette. So
There you go.
actually, and that's the last day of rain for a while till Tuesday the 28th.
She's taking Victoria for her graduation tour 18th to the 25th. Nice.
Nice, very nice.
Congratulations to Victoria.
Mm-hmm.
The girl child's is Thursday.
So weird and random how they do this. And most of the high schools down here do them at like UCF, college, University of Florida. Ronnie's is tomorrow. Ronnie Dufilly.
Yep.
Abby's is like at the end of the month, the 29th.
Yep.
They both live really close to each other, but one school is tomorrow and one school is 2 weeks from today. In Indiana, my niece graduates on the 24th. So, I mean, they're like all over the place. And on top of that, Abby's already done with school, I believe. She's done with her school.
Yeah.
Jeff's Abby, but she doesn't graduate till the 29th. I think
That's
she was
crazy.
done. Ronnie's been done with school. My niece's last day is Friday. And all she has, today was her last full day of school.
Elise has
Very nice.
her final exam tomorrow.
Jeanette said technically she doesn't graduate till June 1st, but the week is finals week and she doesn't have any finals.
Oh.
Yeah, Chris has no more children in school.
Yeah, it's I was getting emails from the school today about tomorrow's their rehearsal and everything, and I called the girl child this evening and I was like, I just want you to be prepared because I'm going to be a mess.
You know what you need to go do? You need to go have another kid.
Oh.
That'll get you back in the swing of things. 18 more years.
Yeah. Snickerdoodle, I hope you didn't fall out of your chair at that suggestion.
She said in capital letters. Steve, no. Look. not in our hands.
Oh, mercy.
I'm trying to figure out what I want to do, Chris. I don't know. I could start a puzzle.
Yeah.
The table's just going to sit out here. I did reorganize all my puzzles.
Nice.
I could play Dreamlight.
Yeah.
I have nothing to do in that. And I keep getting Oswald, all of his quests are glitched for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so like, do you remember the day? Okay, do you remember the day when I went in? He had been glitched for a couple weeks. Like, it showed him in the middle of the map. He was not there. And you had to put on his hat. Well, you don't know probably, but you had to put on his hat and then a couple other clothes, specific clothes for him to be able to communicate with him. He wasn't appearing anywhere. So I could not get him. So then all of a sudden, I thought, okay, no big deal. Then I went to, remember we were talking about having new clothes in Scrooge's shop.
Huh?
So I ran in there real quick, and I was like, oh, there was 2 years and 3D glasses. So I bought them all. Then I'll go to the mines to do finish a quest for Jack Skellington. As soon as that one finishes, Oswald appears inside the mine with me. So I real quick put on the clothes to talk to him, got all the way to his next quest. He wants me to go buy 3D glasses from Scrooge, which I already have because I put his house out and it's like flat. I already have the 3D glasses, and every time I go to try to buy them from Scrooge, it won't let me buy them because he already has them. So I can't complete that quest because with that it says if you already have them, just put them on, and the 3D and edit, interact with the sign. There's no sign. I can't interact with it. I don't understand what's going on, so it's stuck.
I haven't got to that point yet, to be honest.
Oh yeah, I figured. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right.
I'm going to log in and try it again. I've got frustrated with it. Did you see the announcement today from Dreamlight on Instagram?
No, I did not.
It was a maze, and it said, "Who's ready for the new shop?"
Oh.
To be reloaded or whatever. You know where they changed the shop. Yeah. I'll let you know if it's anything good. Inflation's too high for Chris to have more kids. No, it's not. You can raise them and shower them with love. Love will get us through anything. Oh, Chris, there's also a ride you can buy, Slinky Dog.
I did see that.
my note, it says Dreamlight Valley and gives you a little tip.
Huh?
My tip is play healthy. It is recommended that you take breaks from time to time during long play sessions.
I get that one. Now, okay, so I logged in and now it says wear a pair of 3D glasses. So it just took several days to fix itself. So now we're going to put the 3D glasses on. I have the 3D glasses.
Yeah, you might get glitched when you finally get in. So now it says to wear them instead of buy them. So we're going to put them on. And it put it in there. Now it moved me through to the next part. It just, I read the glitches on it, and there are people reporting glitches on every stage of his quest. This is just his first one. Now it says interact.
Sounds like maybe they weren't fully finished, but they wanted to rush it out with the other update.
Probably, yeah. There, now we're getting a sign. And now I can get his house built. There it is. Oh, that's a cool house. I'm glad I did that. Playing Scramble Coin against him now. Trying to get him to level 2 so I can keep playing. Turn 2. She can move anywhere. Just move directly to the target tile. Wait a minute. That's right.
All right, that's cool.
What?
This little
What is
white
that?
thing.
Is that a toilet?
No, it's like a drawn curtain window, and then you put the enchanted rose on this.
Hmm. That's interesting.
That's what I said.
Okay, what are we gonna do here?
Back to where this camp. That the game has always been a bit glitchy, says Jeanette. Yeah, at times it is.
Okay. 3 spaces in any direction. Now I'm gonna move her. Okay. I could do that.
That makes sense now. I had to pull the app back up because these pictures. Go back.
Got it. Okay. Not basil, nuts and bolts. Dang it, those things. Okay, let's go find it. I ran out of places to put houses in this game.
Yeah, I need to rearrange mine.
I keep saying I'm going to do the same thing, and I never do.
Yeah.
Okay, he wanted basil. The chat is quiet except for me, she said. That's quite all right.
That's all right.
Nuts and bolts. How do you make nuts and bolts? Let's go here. Oh my god. Was it a prana or was it a per arc? I think it was this, actually. We're going to try it, see. And then nuts and bolts. Chemical parts. Yes.
As Noah said, it's like the movie The Quiet Place.
Oh, yeah.
But it is a chill night, so.
It is. So I need 1 brass, 1 bronze.
There you go. rows inside.
Oh, nice. And that doesn't look like an outhouse.
Yeah.
All right, let's take this. Oswald, see if this helps. Oswald, oh, there he is. And he's moving fast. He is sprinting. I have something to give you.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. I see what we're doing here.
Ooh, nice. Look at that.
These.
Extra nuts and bolts. Yeah, I don't know where that's at. Sorry. You don't get those. But I got you now. So that's all that matters. All right. Steve stopped reading to us, so we are reading your messages like you are reading now. I've been eavesdropping. As Sam would say, I've not been dropping no eaves. Whatever he says.
Welcome in, Stephanie L.
Hello. Okay, we gotta get rid of this stupid outfit I'm wearing now. It's driving me nuts. We're gonna get rid of that. We're gonna get rid of this stupid hat he's wearing. We're going to get rid of this stupid whatever that is. And we're gonna go to his shorts and put it there. Now my guy looks back to normal. All right. What else did I have to do here? Oh man. You know what? I'm gonna go outside Oswald's house and see if there's one of those like papers laying on the floor or something.
Uh-huh. So here's a question for you, Steve. Do you put, I saw you can have the characters' houses in both the Rift and in the Valley.
No. You cannot. Well, okay, you can have them either or.
Yeah.
When you place it in one, it takes it out of the other.
Oh. So do you have them all in one, or do you have them mixed?
I have currently the ones that came from the Rift I have in the Rift. The ones that came from the other I have in the other.
That's how I have mine.
Because I ran out of room in the new and the old one.
I did think it would be cute to put Wally and Eve's house beside each other.
Yeah, I haven't done that yet. There goes Oswald. Where's Stitch? I'll play you. I don't know what the best. Let's see here.
hate stickers. I don't understand why with a set this expensive they couldn't print these stupid things.
How many stickers you got?
Several. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Wow. Let's see here. You just made a mistake. We'll find out.
Squeezers, yeah. Stacy, I sent him the link. I don't know. So Cargo, welcome in. I heard you all talk about previews for Tiana's. They sure didn't have much time for all these previews. I'm guessing since the ride is physically the same, then they don't need to do them long. Yeah, that's what I was. That's a good point, Stephanie. Yes, I know people aren't very happy with how it turned out.
No, not at all. They did it very poorly. Ooh. I can get that one. I can get that one, but I can't get that one. Or can I? I can get that. I can't get them all. Well. Cool. All right. I just got to get my Scrooge shop stuff, and I'm done for the evening. That's all I wanted to do. How many more bags you got left, Chris?
6 more after this one. I think there were 13, if I remember right.
13 bags?
Yeah.
Ooh, what is this? You got the Beauty and the Burst, Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Burst?
Yeah, you know. Something new we're trying. What is that? That's just a box of stuff. Cardboard boxes of files. Sure, why not buy them? It's only 1,200 gold. It grows on pumpkins, right?
Speaking of Beauty and the Burst, what are we doing tomorrow night on This and That?
We're going to be live on location tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. I forgot.
What is that? A lifeguard stand. Lifeguard tower.
Nice.
Lilo and Stitch. And then I probably don't have that cabinet. They keep giving these cabinets that I don't have. What else is new in here? There's a couch. Apparently they got lots of couches I don't have either. They all look the same to me, but every time I go up, there's a little red dot next to it.
Yeah.
That's the cobweb one. I've got a million of those. Ooh, I like that. And that floor is like really dark.
Steve, if you could get MK, you should check out the windows of the new Critter Co-op BV did, and there is some new things in there. Really?
If you get the what?
If you get to Magic Kingdom,
Yeah.
check out the windows of the new Critter Co-op.
What's the Critter Co-op?
Stacy says, "Wait, that means Shep's going to be in control."
Yeah, I'm sorry. That means, yeah, who knows? But yes, it will be Shep. I just can't. I could. If I was doing it by myself,
Yeah.
I could. But having the fact that it's going to be him. Co-op is the old Splash Store. What's the old Splash Store? I don't know what that is either.
Over at Splash Mountain.
Magic Kingdom?
Yeah. Over
Oh, the old Splash Mountains. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Check out the windows of the new Critter Co-op. I'll see if I can get over there. All right. Well, that was fun.
Yeah. We got to get used to all the new names for the old things.
No, we don't. Okay. Right now, what do we want to do? I think this is good and charged. I don't need to charge that anymore. I'll get that in a minute. Back to charge. We should be good. Oh man, I need to take my camera and everything to work again tomorrow. Ooh, bummer. Okay. Oh, you know what I can do? I know what I can do. Man, that's boring for people. Like I said, I've been working on my Assassin's Creed escape room book.
Oh yeah.
It's really cool, and it's kind of like if you're used to doing escape rooms, you see where they're going with things. So it worked. I mean, I've been able to get through it. I'm on chapter 3 of 5 or 6. I don't know what there is, but I'm like almost halfway done with the book. But it's been really cool. Like you would find puzzles in an actual escape room, and they tell you things. So just like you would find, I don't know if people haven't done escape rooms, you'll find a key or something or a puzzle that may have nothing to do with anything till you get to the 4th room or something. Then you got to go back. Same thing with the book. You got to go back in the book. Oh, Gaston. You go back in the book to have to find the puzzle that matched what you're needing for now. So it's pretty cool. So I got the Assassin's Creed one, and then I got 2 more to do after that. I got a Sherlock Holmes one, which, by the way, Robert Downey Jr. is currently filming, or it's in pre-production, a new Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, really?
Yep, saw it on IMDb. And then
I loved those movies.
Yeah, oh yeah, and he was great with him and Jude Law.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, this is why I hate teaser trailers too, because like there was a teaser trailer for Iron Man 4. I don't know if you saw it yesterday or not.
No.
And it was all about the Iron Women, and it said Robert Downey Jr. returns. He's not slated for anything to do with Iron Man again. So there was also something for Tom Holland and Back to the Future teaser trailer. Not real. So Tom Holland is not going to be in Back. As of now, he has nothing to do with Back to the Future 4 or whatever it is. So all it's meant to do is to pique our excitement, start talking about it. Let's see. Oh man. gonna look something up, Chris. I don't remember what it was. Oh, I know what it was. Ooh, she must not have done that good. Caitlin Clark from Iowa. You know the
Yeah.
Stacy. No teaser trailer is real. A teaser trailer. I don't care who puts them out. It's not a real trailer. They're just meant to spark your get you talking about it. I'm not saying it's fake or these things aren't going to happen. Of course, Lord of the Rings is going to happen again. We already know that, but it's not a real trailer. It's just meant to get you to talk about things.
So there is your spine.
That's why they say
book.
teaser versus official. That's cool.
Beauty and the Beast, and then the
And
top,
you got Aladdin on the bottom.
The top flips open to
Ooh.
reveal the rose.
That's cool.
It's down to look like a book, and then the bottom drawer pulls out, and there is Gaston.
That's cool. You know Caitlin Clark, remember the Iowa girl that was doing so good or whatever? The Indiana Fever drafted her, paid her a lot of money.
Right.
She didn't have a terrible day. She had 20 points, which was a team high, but she also had 10 turnovers.
Oh, wow.
She'll get there.
She'll get there. So that's bag number 7.
Bag number 7. Holy cow.
Bag number 6 looks like it will be the
You're going from bag number 7 to bag number 6?
no, I meant bag number 8. Sorry.
Oh.
Will be this Sleeping Beauty book.
When do you build the VCR tape?
I think that is after the Sleeping Beauty.
Because that's when it's going to get really cool.
Yeah. Yep.
Dang, that game drew 9,000 people.
They had it on at the restaurant where I went to pick up Mom and Dad's supper.
It was not close. I mean, look, for the WNBA, they scored a lot of points. It was 92-71. They played the Connecticut Sun, which is a really good team. All their stats were almost identical. Like it was 48% to 48.5%, 40% to 42.9% for 3-pointers. Rebounds were 30 to 20. Everything was like there except Indiana had 25 turnovers and 10 of them by Caitlin Clark.
Well, I think we'll call it a night.
Yeah. Is it time?
I don't want to start another bag.
Yeah, it's like midnight, isn't it? Close.
Yeah, we're right at it. I've got a work meeting I've got to go into the office for that I forgot about tomorrow.
That's terrible.
Yeah. So, yeah, I appreciate everybody hanging out. Thank you for hanging out with us for the book, and then
we're almost there, almost done.
Wow.
It's a long one, Chris.
Thursday night, there may be a stream. I'm not 100%. I'll be honest. It depends on how toe up I am from the flow up.
How you're what?
How toe up I am from the flow up.
Oh, toes up because you're laying in bed?
Maybe.
And what's flow up?
From the floor.
Oh.
Toe up from the floor up.
Is that like tore up from the floor up?
Yes. Toe up from the flow up.
I have no idea what you're trying to say.
But yeah, with girl child's graduation Thursday.
Oh yeah.
Thursday evening.
What time's their graduation?
6 o'clock.
Oh yeah, enjoy that, dude. How many kids are graduating?
I don't know. It usually takes a little while.
Yeah. Do what you want to do.
But she's one of the first ones, so.
What, are you just gonna leave in the middle of everybody else's ceremony?
No, we won't do that. I'm just saying she's one of the first ones, so I guess I'll cry through all the rest of it. So.
Aww.
Yeah.
Aww. Did you cry when Evan graduated?
I think she asked me that today too, and I think I teared up a little bit because she was very upset and very emotional during his graduation because this was the first year they haven't been to school together.
That's true.
So, yeah. Anyway,
it's gonna be great. You're gonna do good, Chris.
Yeah. I appreciate it, everybody. Hope you have a good night. Yeah. Start coughing after she walks the stage and
Yeah, you can make that. You can do that.
Hope everybody has a good night. Have Jeanette, hope you have a safe trip and a good time, you and Victoria. If I don't see you again. And yeah, everybody have a good Wednesday. You've made it to hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day. Thank you, Debbie. I'll let her know. Her gown, her graduation gown is hanging on her bedroom door, and I walked by it today and I just shook my head.
Aw.
Anyway, all right, love you all. We'll see you next time. Take care, have a good night and a good Wednesday.
Be strong.
Love you. Bye.